All right, Albuquerque Isotopes are here in spring training, getting you ready for the season. We would like to talk to some of our former players. Ryan Serven was with us 2022, briefly in 2023. Ryan, my favorite part about AAA is just when guys get to go to the big leagues for the first time. And it never gets old to me, and I haven't been able to get the details with this. But I vividly recall, we're flying to Salt Lake City, you're on the plane, we're on the bus to the hotel, you're on the bus. I remember I'm in the lobby, room key, Serven, here's your room key. I remember I see you and some of the boys go get some dinner. Next thing I know, you're in the big leagues. Tell me about that dinner and how you got told you're going to the big leagues.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty spot on. We got to Salt Lake and got to the hotel. Yeah, literally that day, checked in on the off day and went to dinner, like that one restaurant bar right next to the hotel. And I was there for maybe 20 minutes. And then Schaefer texted me and said, "Where are you?" And I said,
Is your mind starting to wonder?
Yeah, roll right away. I'm like, okay, you know why? He never really texted me and asked where I am.
Right.
So he asked me where are you? And I told him I'm at dinner. He said, where? And that's when I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'm not sure, if I'm getting released, or what's going on. So I told him where I was, and he was like, okay, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. And he showed up with Pacheco, and he told me when he got there, he texted me and said, come outside. Went outside, and he was my manager in low A in Asheville. He was my manager in double A in Hartford, my manager in Albuquerque in 21, manager in Albuquerque last year, had him for the alt site. And he was just excited to be able to tell me that I was going up.
Yeah, that's awesome. And to me, it's funny because I remember it was like, I don't know, maybe it was a week or two before, and we're on some flight home, and you're in the middle seat, right? And I'm not a gentleman. I'm not going to give it the middle seat for you. I want to be able to lean in on the window. And I remember you saying just like how tired you were. And I'm wondering, when you get to the big leagues, how much you reflect on those middle seats on Southwest and those bus rides, and like what your journey was like to finally get to the big leagues.
Yeah, I mean, you have to always remember like and it's the perspective, and those 14-hour bus rides in rookie ball, and then those flights in the big leagues are a little different. So it's definitely all perspective. Have to remember, definitely where you came from, because the game always knows how to humble you. It always has, and it always will.
At the same time, once you're in the big leagues, man, it's not time to develop anymore, man. You got to win. You got to win. And like, how do you feel that intensity, and how do you channel that into your performance?
I mean, just doing it for your teammates. I think that was the biggest thing, that I've always had the mindset of like servant mentality. When it comes to catching, I want to make the guy on the mound have the best day. Like, I want to help him have the best day. And I think that definitely helped my perspective and my mindset going into those games, is just make sure that everybody, make sure that they have a good day. And if they have a good day, the team has a good day usually.
Yeah, absolutely. When does it sink in? When does it sink in that I'm part of this team here, and I got a job to do, and I'm going to be a servant for pitchers like that, and like, okay, when does it sink in?
It sank in pretty quick. I got to catch Freeland a lot in spring training and rehab starts. So he was the guy I got to catch in my debut day. I got to catch Free, and it was I don't know. They just, made me feel like a part of the team right away. Didn't feel like, I was on the outside looking in. I felt like I was one of the guys, and working with Free that first day probably helped calm a lot of my nerves. And it was good from the get-go.
Final question for you, for the people in Albuquerque, for Isotopes fans, what do you want to tell them about like what they meant to you, and like your just best memories of the Topes?
Yeah, all the fans in Albuquerque and just everybody in Albuquerque, great fan base, came out and supported. A lot of cool stories. We had Wynton Bernard doing what he did, and just a lot of good guys out there, and the fans, they always showed out, and they made it a great place to play. And always appreciate all you guys and everybody.
We appreciate you, man. So pumped, man.
Yeah, thank you.
I always tell people, man, dude was sitting next to me on the middle seat yesterday. Now he's in the big leagues. It's so cool. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you.
Of course.
That's Brian Serven. We're getting you ready for the start of the season. Thanks for watching.